Hello there and welcome to Hello Loco for Leeds. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United. I'm George, welcome along to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me. Any Leeds fans, any Newcastle fans, everybody's welcome here. So let's get into the preview and look at this game on Friday night football, isn't it? It's an early 6-pointer in my opinion. Both teams yet to win a Premier League match this season in 4 attempts. Newcastle have one less point than us. They've only got a single point, which came in a draw with Southampton at St James's Park. They were very, very close to winning that game. It was a late, late equaliser for Southampton that day. We, of course, have two draws, 2 points. Obviously, lost two, drawn two from our opening 4 games. Which have been tricky, really. You know, United at home, United away, Liverpool at home, Everton at home, and Burnley away is never an easy one. So it's been a tricky start of the season. Looking into our fixtures, the next 4 games, Newcastle, West Ham, Watford, and Southampton look a little bit more winnable. So let's hope we can get some points on the board, and fingers crossed we get our first win of the season on Friday night. So let's just have a look at our injury news and any sort of team news for this one for Leeds United. Um, Pascal Struijk is suspended, isn't he? We did appeal the red card at Ellen Road on Sunday against Liverpool. The FA turned it down, and so Pascal Struijk misses out on Friday. Then he misses the game against West Ham, and he also will be missing for the trip to Fulham in the Carabao Cup in next midweek. So yeah, look, it was disappointing because obviously Llorente is already injured and also Koch. So we are now very, very light at centre-back position. In my opinion, Luke Ayling will come in for Struijk, and he'll play alongside Liam Cooper at centre-back on Friday night. Jamie Shackleton, I think, will start at right back. I would personally like to see Dallas play at left back, but I think he'll stick with Firpo. We'll have Phillips in the CDM role. I think Harrison will play on the left wing, and then there's a bit of a dilemma for Bielsa here. I think he'll bring Click back in to the starting 11, and I think he'll play alongside Dallas. I think Rafinha will start on the right, and then it'll be Bamford up front. I do think James will be starting again on the bench, but I do think he might have a lot more of an impact than he did against Liverpool. Obviously, it was tricky for him with us being 2-0 down and a man down as well. But this one is a much more even contest, isn't it, Leeds fans? Obviously, in that one, Calvin Phillips was outrunning the midfield. I do think Phillips, this is a game for him to grab by the scruff of the neck and be able to control it like he does so well in those games where he does it. And this is an opportunity for Leeds to really get the 3 points. It's a big game for both teams, and we'll move on to looking at Newcastle in a bit more detail now because a bit of team news for them. Obviously, they're missing Callum Wilson, which is a big miss for them. He's a massive player, is Callum Wilson. Can score goals on his day. Obviously, England international as well when he can get in there. He's a good poacher, a bit of a poacher of a striker, isn't he? Knows where the back of the net is. He can grab you a goal. He can get you a win. He can win a football match for you. So it's a good job that he's missing for us. Ryan Fraser, again, is another player who's missing for Newcastle through injury on Friday. He's another player that on his day can cause problems and win a game of football. So it's a good job from our point of view that he's missing. But then there's players on the pitch that, again, on the day, for me, Newcastle are dangerous, individually dangerous, perhaps not as a team dangerous, but they've got little pockets of quality players that can cause any team issues. The likes of Joe Linton on his day, I know overall hasn't really worked out for him in England, but he can get a goal on his day. And then there's Alan Saint-Maximin, who, of course, will be the main focus for Newcastle, the main focal point for them attacking wise and sort of goal threat wise, I feel, on Friday night. And he's a great player, is Saint Maximin. You would have thought Newcastle, if they don't improve much this season, would struggle to keep hold of him um, next time round, really. He's a top-class player, and he's a real threat. A player that I feel like we handled pretty well on the whole when we went to St James's Park last season, which we'll touch upon, shortly. But another player that I feel like can cause a problem for us is Joe Willock. Obviously, they spent £25 million on him in the summer. He was on loan there for the latter stage of the last season, wasn't he? Got some very important goals and really managed to keep them up, really. I mean, they finished was it 12th or 13th Newcastle last season, which was a healthy finish for them compared to where they were going into the last sort of knockings of the season. It was looking like a bit of a relegation battle. Joe Willock came and he really made the difference. He assisted, scored goals, important goals. So it was an important signing that for them. I mean, you could argue the fee, 25 million is a lot, but that's a young English player. It's about the going rate, what you're going to pay for that sort of calibre of talent nowadays. Top flight English young player, 25 million is about right nowadays, isn't it, really? And then it's going to be a 5-3-2. You can be sure that Bruce is going to play on Friday. There's always unrest with Bruce, isn't there, and Mike Ashley, Newcastle. Until Ashley sells the club, I don't think Newcastle fans will ever really be overly happy with how they're performing, because on the pitch, like I say, he has put a little bit of money into the squad, but it's not enough really. And a team like Newcastle, big club like that, need to be aiming for higher than what they are currently performing at. It's no doubt about that. Steve Bruce isn't really the most popular of figures amongst the fans. I think that's being quite polite about it, really. But he did the job. He kept them up last season. I believe they'll have enough to stay up this time as well. Like I say, he plays a 5-3-2 formation. Likes to get the wing backs forward. As we saw at Old Trafford on Saturday, really, obviously Manquillo got the equaliser, which was very, very quickly, obviously, drowned out by Ronaldo. And then they went on, obviously, to batter it. It was similar to our game at opening day against United, where we obviously equalised. Nice goal from Ayling, and then it went downhill very quickly from there. But yeah, they have got players in that team that can really cause us issues. Obviously, like I said, just 1 point all season, only 4 games in. But they've got they've shown they can score goals. They got 2 against West Ham, 2 against Southampton. They've shown that they can score goals this season so far. So it might be a high-scoring match this on Friday night, because we've shown obviously we can't really defend too well. Newcastle have obviously quite good attacking players, like I've said, but also leave them a little bit open and lack of quality at the back. Freddie Woodman's in goal for them. Obviously, Dubravka's injured. It's a chance for him to show his worth. Obviously, it was Darlow's turn last season. It looks like Freddie Woodman is going to be their main man in goal until Dubravka's back. Obviously, if reports are to believe, we were in for him in the summer. Obviously, went for Kristoffersen instead, the young Norwegian lad, obviously, who plays back up to Meslier, obviously, at the moment. But yeah, we need to improve, obviously, but there's no panic stations for me just yet. Even if we lose this game, I think as long as we show enough quality, that we will win games in the future, in the season. I think, but the first win would just settle everybody down, wouldn't it? And I believe we're going to get this at St James's on Saturday. But, looking at last season, obviously, we beat them 2-1. We beat them at Ellen Road, obviously 5-2 as well. So we had the better of them last season in both games. It was a bit of a tighter game at St James's, wasn't it? 2-1. Raphinha and Harrison got the goals that day. But we saw that nice link-up play that I was talking about between Rodrigo and Raphinha that day, didn't we, that night? Rodrigo laid on Raphinha for the opening goal. And then Harrison got that lovely sort of volley finish, didn't he, to win it 2-1 for us. There hasn't been too many meetings in the recent past, between these two sides. We played them in the Championship at St James's Park, obviously at Ellen Road as well, but we're focused on St James's with it being at St James's on Friday. It was a 1-1 draw, wasn't it? Chris Wood got that late goal. And then we played them in the Cup as well, didn't we, at St James's? I think we lost 3-1 while we were in the Championship. They were in the Premier League at the time, obviously. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough game, this one, but it's one that I believe we can win. I think we've got enough quality in the team to win this one. I think it's a game for Phillips to really take hold of and really control for me. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know your memories. What's your favourite memory of a Newcastle away day at St James's Park? Newcastle fans watching, what is your favourite memory of this fixture? How do you think your team are going to do this season? Will it be another relegation battle and everything like that? Just let me know your comments let me know your thoughts. In the comments below, and don't forget, obviously, to subscribe to the channel as well and hit that like button as well. It'll help me out. That yeah. So it's I do think as well that we're going to be playing in the lavender new third kit. Let me know what you think of that one. Personally, I really like it. I think it's an outstanding kit, really, like the third one was that we played in at St James's Park last season, the maroon and gold. Really lovely kit that was, wasn't it? And I think this one will sell very well as well. And I think we're playing it in a few times this season as well. I do believe this will be one where we do play in it, and we'll see a debut for that kit. And hopefully it'll be a good omen and we will win the game. I'm going to go with a 3-1 Leeds United away win. Our first points of the season, hopefully, will be coming home to Leeds on Friday night with the team. So let me know again your score predictions. But thank you very much for joining me on this one. Marching on together, and I will see you on the next one.